Baxter from Casino Guitars here. We're talking, well, no, we're playing. We have the holy trinity of pedals. It's taken years and gourds of money to amass these. Okay, none of them are mine. There are other people's that just sent them to us, and I'm borrowing because I can't afford all these. But we've got in the right corner, the glorious KTR. In the center ring, the king of tone, and in the left, the Klon, the vintage, the real, the originator of all of this glory and hype, and dare I say, questionable spending practices. So let's I'm gonna play through them all, give it sort of a rundown, see what you guys think. I kind of let you know what I think as well, and we'll have a little fun with it too. Okay, so I'm gonna play them in two different ways. I'm gonna play it as just a sort of boost, as they were not intended, but they've become known for. So I'm playing a Two Rock Bloomfield 100 watt through a Fender custom shop as well. And I've got the sort of gain stage on the Bloomfield playing. I'm using them just as a boost at first, and then I put back to the clean channel entirely, and I'm just letting the pedals just drive as hard as I can drive, just to see what happens. I've sort of found a sweet spot on the settings that works to keep them consistent, and that's kind of the rundown on how we're having it set up. So enjoy, sit back, put your headphones on, maybe turn it down a little bit when I go full overdrive, because it gets a little bit loud and raunchy, especially on that KTR. That's it. Let's talk prices. These are not for the faint of heart. These are expensive pedals. they're pretty awesome, but they're pretty pricey. The KTR, you gotta find those on the used market usually, and like they're going anywhere for, if you get it for cheap, you're getting like 700, anywhere up to like 1,000. I've seen it at $1,100, but it's an expensive pedal. Jump over to King of Tone, you can get on the waiting list. He's still building these. I think it's $350 right now, but you're waiting 3 years, or you can buy one right now for $800 to $1,000. And then we get to the bad boy, the Klon. Now this is the sort of bare bones Klon. I don't have golden horsies all over this one, but you know, this one's gonna set you back a few $1,000s, and by few I mean 4, 5, just depending upon where you are. If you're overseas, probably, let's add another finger to it. I can't with my thumbs. It's just, I don't know, I've been doing that for a long time. So you got some expensive pedals here. Okay, so I finished playing them, and they are impressive beasts of tonal mastery. I'll give them that. These are impressive machines. Now I'm gonna weigh that in my logical brain against how much they cost. They're very expensive. I really enjoyed the KTR. I thought that was my favorite, hands down, at first. I've had the most time with that one, I think, so I'm used to the sound. Then I went to the King of Tone, and I found the King of Tone's massive overdrive signal. That was my favorite of all the ones pushing, maybe. It didn't seem quite as harsh as the King of Tone's when I went to full harsh as the KTR's when I went to full overdrive. So I had like the most pleasant smashed in a weird way. Then I went over the Klon, and it was a very understated full overdrive but it sort of maybe, it has that much, I hate saying vintage, because it's hard for me to think of 90s as vintage, but it definitely has a more organic flavor to it. Now as a basic boost, which is what I think most people use this for, they're all very similar. They sort of live in the same sort of wheelhouse. There's slight nuances that are noticeable. I should have comped it with my tube screamers. I've got some vintage, you know, TS9s and 10s sitting right to the left, but that's a whole other video. Can you get there with one of those, or just a new tube screamer? You can get part of the way there. You can get pretty close with some of that just as a boost. Now there's a magic compression with some of these. I did notice it's a softness, it's a little bit warmer, but it's expensive. It's expensive to get there. Don't get me wrong, I'm playing with like, you know, a $10,000 rig right now, just the guitar and the amp alone. But I don't know if I can add another $4,000 or $5,000 on top of it, but it sure is fun. I've enjoyed everyone let me borrow these pedals. Now I'm curious to know what you guys think. If you own these, how you use them, how I'm using them incorrectly. If you think I'm an idiot, that's okay too. I get that a lot. I am married. I have 3 children, so it's not an uncommon force of dialogue in my house. But and let me know just what you think if you do have one. I'd be curious. If you have a Klon, is it the magic bullet, the silver bullet in your tonal arsenal that gets you through the day and the night? And I hope you're not taking this to your bar gigs, because that's a terrifying idea of you stopping and beer getting spilled on it. The King of Tone, I put myself on the waiting list for that yesterday. So we'll see what happens in 3 years or whatever. Because it's a cool pedal. Maybe I'd like to have one. We'll see. Or maybe I'll just sell it aftermarket if I don't end up, because I don't play pedals in general. And then the KTR is really good too. That's another friend of mine. He's the dolphin trainer down in Florida, so we'll have to ship that off to him soon. I've enjoyed it. It's been a great journey with me. But that's kind of it. Thanks a bunch for spending your time with us. I hope you enjoyed the hearings of these. It was pretty special for us to be in the same room with these amazing little machines and enjoy what they do. Thanks guys, Casino Guitars. Click subscribe, like, all that stuff. We'll see y'all later.